Alright, Gulf Coast independent wrestling fans, welcome back once again to another fantabulous edition of the Front Row Fanatics. Yes, once again, I'm drinking Miller High Life instead of my usual Heineken beer all the way until September 30th. Buy Miller beer. Save your little bottle caps right here. They got places at the store to give an extra 10 cents for every bottle cap to help wounded combat veterans coming home from Afghanistan and Iraq and all over the world. So damn it, I'm drinking Miller beer until the end of September and saving these bottle caps.
All those bottle caps, you just drank those in the past half hour.
Wow.
Are we moving on?
Yes, we're moving on.
Alright, coming up next, we had a non-title X Factor match. The current X Factor champion, Brutal Joe Gibson, took on the Black Wolf. And in a probably what could be called the upset of the night, let's put it this way. Joe Gibson was going for that Irish Wake Lariat. Black Wolf reversed it into a backslide. 1, 2, 3. Black Wolf gets the victory over Joe Gibson. Which, from what I hear, that victory automatically got him into the Ecstasy of Gold tournament.
So it would seem, as we saw in the last press release from Ultimate Wrestling, that the Black Wolf is indeed one of the participants in the next Ecstasy of Gold, I believe, as part of the X Factor grouping of wrestlers. And I gotta admit, I was shocked, you know, but then again, Black Wolf has shown consistent improvement if you've watched the quality of his matches later. You know, he made it into the Royal Four. You know, he beat that stinking ass old bitch of yours, yesterday's news, Brian Cage, whoever disappeared. See ya, buddy. You know, that's the way it goes. So Black Wolf gets the surprise win over Brutal Joe Gibson and earned himself a shot there into the Ecstasy of Gold.
I do have to say, though, however, I think Brutal Joe was a little lackadaisical. I didn't think he... I think there's a little big-headedness involved, you know, because Brutal Joe has always sat atop the heap at Ultimate Wrestling. So, for, as he calls him, the Gimp, to come to the ring and challenge him, I think he thought it was a little ludicrous. But I think the next time we see the Black Wolf square up with Joe Gibson, he'll be a little more prepared.
Yes, his intensity was not up to its usual level, and I think he had a slightly lackadaisical approach to this match, you know. So, and sometimes, hey, you play, you pay, and unfortunately, Joe Gibson paid this time for playing around with the Black Wolf and got beat 1, 2, 3 cleanly in the middle of the ring. So, you know, Brutal One, you need to amp it back up there, buddy.
All right, coming up next, we had the feature presentation with Carlos D'Angelo. His guest, Diana Drake Hurst.
Cook me some chicken, woman.
And basically, they were addressing the whole Nick Virtue situation, I guess you'll call it. And Nick Virtue came to the ring, and basically, I'm going to cut it short. They're going to have a match coming up September 18th. And one of the conditions of this match is that they cannot touch each other until then. Right. And so, and this match is reportedly going to be an I Quit match. So, you know, be looking for that. I spoke of this on our last Ultimate review. You have the longest reigning, he was the longest reigning Ultimate Wrestling heavyweight champion, the longest reigning X Factor champion. This is gearing up to be the Clash of the Titans in my book.
I believe it's going to be an awesome, awesome match. And, you know, like you said, you got the two longest reigning title holders of Ultimate's two major belts squaring off, you know, right there in the middle of the ring. I believe that's going to be in Milton. And God knows only what's going to happen because Carlos is pissed for that beating he took from Nick Virtue after his title shot against Death Row, where he was laid to waste right there by Nick Virtue. And Virtue's tough, but, you know, an angry Carlos is something to contend with, so I'm really looking forward to this match.
Well, directly after that, the feature Carlos D'Angelo took on the suicidal soldier Tommy Hill. And what can only be, I mean, most of the fans would agree, this was definitely a contender for match of the night. I like it when two contrasting styles mix in the ring, and you had the high flying of Tommy Hill, the old school submission stylings of Carlos D'Angelo, and to Tommy Hill's credit, he can counter some of those old school moves. You know, I mean, most people think of him and see high spot after high spot, but the suicidal soldier can get it done in the ring. This night, however, it didn't happen. Carlos got him with a heel hook.
This is true, and he showed he's working on some of those submission moves to go along with his ground and pound, you know, with the Dos of Los and the other mat skills that he's using. Tommy Hill acquitted himself admirably in the ring, and unfortunately, he just hasn't had quite that, I don't want to say good luck or good fortune. He's been on the losing end most of the time, but nonetheless is always in every match that he's in, entertaining the crowd, you know, good energy, good good performance. You know, he just needs to get over that hump to start getting on a little roll of a winning streak. You know, but
Right.
nonetheless, entertaining match. Great effort by both participants.
Well, directly after the match, Carlos D'Angelo worked on the leg of Suicidal Soldier Tommy Hill, and after he had won the match, Nick Virtue came down and went to town on that leg. But Carlos D'Angelo could not touch him
That's
as
right.
per their agreement. He looked at Carlos and said, "You did this, man."
That's right. While he
So-
was inflicting damage upon the Suicidal Soldier, who is an unfortunate victim of Nick Virtue's devious plans to try to get Carlos to hit him so he would, null and void their agreement. But
Tommy Hill, wrong place, wrong time, I guess.
absolutely.
How are we doing on time? We can do it. All right, coming up next, the former center, Nick Virtue, took on one half of the Ultimate Wrestling Tag Team Champions, T.A. Jones, and beat him with a move he is now calling the Pensacola Basement, which was a submission. So, I mean, how did you think Nick Virtue looked after such a long time off?
Well, considering we only saw him briefly on that run-in where he jumped Carlos there in Milton, you couldn't really get a good estimation of how he was for ring rust and everything else. But he looked fairly impressive against T.A. Jones and showed no signs of the knee injury or the ring rust. And he looks evil, mean, and ready to go.
I agree with you 100%. Once again, the winner of that match, the former center, Nick Virtue.
Damn, you need a beer there? I think we need to take a break here. Mr. Internet's having a little spaz there.
I saw some leg over here. It got me excited.
Oh, with that being said, we'll be right back.